gears. We're working on the burn oil F-250. We're installing a Titan XXL fuel tank. It's a 55-gallon fuel tank. Yeah, pretty exciting. This should help out on our longer trips and our towing range. So check it out. So first thing I want to do is inspect the contents of the tank and see what all we have in here. Oh, what's this? I see an envelope. That looks important. Put that aside. What else do we have in here? It looks like, well, let's open it up and find out. All right, so just cut the box open. And obviously we got big fuel tank. What's this over here? I see, must be hardware or something. Yep. Front support kit assembly. Cool. Roll this thing over. Just at a glance, checking for anything obvious that would be preventing me from installing this thing. And at a glance, I don't see anything so far. Just quality looks good. Technically, I bought a scratch and dent model, which just means it has a manufacturing blemish or defect somewhere. And I wasn't too worried about that because it still carries the full warranty. They'll still back their product, and honestly, it's going underneath the truck. So, you know, what am I worried about if there's a little scratch or dent somewhere? But I can't see anything. I'm sure the manufacturer would know if they looked at it, but to me, it looks perfect. I'm guessing that's where the go juice goes, the business side of things. Let's see what we got in here. This looks like some bracketry, some hardware. Nice. I see some flange bolts. I love flange bolts. They make me happy. All right. Nothing too crazy. All right. The envelope they sent looks like I've got an O-ring. Put that aside for right now. Sticker, awesome, we love stickers. Some nice, clear color instructions, awesome. See a technical bulletin, I'll read through that. Some envelope with warranty stuff, cool, I'll work on that. But in the meantime, this is what I need. They need, they say we need some ratcheting, socket driver, ratchets, some wrenches, screwdrivers, Torx bit, rubber mallet, hook, pick, recommended hydraulic transmission jack, impact wrench, vehicle lift, fuel caddy. Let's see. Sockets, checked. Wrenches, checked. Screwdrivers, got a few. Some hooks and picks, cool, we got those. Torx bit, let's see, I don't have a 27 Torx, but I do have a 27 Torx Plus. I don't know if that'll work, but I guess we'll find out. No hydraulic tranny jack, but I do have this one. I don't have a vehicle lift, but I do have some 6-ton jack stands. I got 4 of them, so let's see if we can do it with this. I don't have a fuel caddy. But what I did was I ran the fuel in the truck all the way down to about 3 gallons. I've got this diesel tank and it's full of 5 gallons. So I know I can at least pour 5 gallons into the new tank and then transfer the old stuff into here if I need to. All right, first thing, looks like we got to remove the original tank. So we're gonna go ahead and jack up the truck and start working on getting this thing taken out. using a hook, loosen and remove the rubber seal. It fits around the fuel tank and def spout, figure 1. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pop that thing out. So I just popped this off. It's just a rubber retainer that pushes on there, and I think I should be able to get this thing off much easier now. Let me get 2 hands on it. Okay, so there's a couple snaps in the back. There they are. So once I got this side up, just came right out, and that's what we're looking at now. All right, we're gonna take the bolts out that are attached to the fuel spout. Right there. The spout's loose. All right, pull the fill spout assembly back towards the vehicle's frame, turn it so you have access to the hose clamps, figure 3. So we got to get underneath. Here's what we're looking at, and I think those are the hose clamps that we're trying to get to. So pull this thing away. That was a little tricky just because this piece right here was hitting on like that thing right there. So I had to rotate this backwards in order to pop it off and get clearance to pull it. So got a little bit better access now to the hose clamps. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen those and then pull this spout off. Loose. All right, so the hose clamps are off. I got the vent line freed. I had to use a hook again to kind of loosen up that hose. You want to work out the vent tube like that. All right, now we're moving on to the front of the tank. The water separators here. So there's an electrical connection. We want to disconnect that. There's a little tab, press down and pull back. All right, after the electrical connector, there's a fuel line on top of the separator. Squeeze the 2 legs, push the tab towards the rear of the vehicle, and that's what we're looking for. All right, here's the connector they're talking about. There's 2 tabs, squeeze them together, and this thing pushes out. So it might be facing the other way. On the instructions, they talk about this thing going towards the back of the vehicle. On mine, it's actually going to the front of the vehicle. So that clip is off, and then this separator should come right off. I'm gonna get a rag just in case. All right, so there we go. That connector's off. And the next is this one right here. It's a quick disconnect. So I've already pulled it out, but these tabs pull out. And then there's a button right there. You can push that button and the thing will release. All right, that one popped right off. Again, 2-handed operation, and just have a rag ready and be prepared for a little bit of a diesel bath. So now they're talking about dropping the tank low enough so that I can get on top and disconnect the fuel sending unit connector. But I've got the skid plate in the way. I don't think they mentioned anything about the skid plate. I'm gonna go double check, but it looks like I gotta remove the skid plate first before I can start lowering the tank by the straps. All right, so I'm removing the factory skid plate, and I'm assuming that the reason they don't mention it in the instructions at all is because not all trucks have this. This is part of the FX4 package, so it's an optional item, and it's going away after this mod. There's the factory fuel tank. Here are the straps that we're talking about. And yeah, part of these brackets are gonna have to come off, or part of the skid tank. So take those brackets off. And yeah, on to the next part. had to get up on top here, disconnect that electrical connection. I don't know if you can see it. There we go. Somewhere in there, you can see the plug's disconnected. So I had to reach up under there, but in order to do that, had to lower the fuel tank just a couple inches by loosening the straps all the way around. So again, just loosen the straps, got up in here and disconnected that plug. All right, there it is. The old tank's out. Now we got to prep the new tank, take off the fuel sender, and transfer the hoses or anything else that needs to go on the new one. Let's get to it. All right, so we just got to disconnect these fuel lines. For these quick connects, you just push down on the tab and pull them up. Let me see if I can get this one. So just got to push that tab down real hard and then slide the thing back. Slide it back, just like. All right, after we got the fuel lines all disconnected, we got to pull off the water separator. There's one Torx screw, and just pull that off. The water separator slides out of this bracket, but you got to tap on it from the bottom, and just make sure you don't hit any of the fittings or anything. Using a rubber mallet is what they suggest. So we got to remove this hold down ring, which is just locked in place. So it's just held down like that, and just turn it counterclockwise. You can use a screwdriver and a mallet or something like that, and once it unclips, it just pops free. We got to change that O-ring. That green O-ring right there is going to get replaced. They provided a new one with the kit. And you want to be very careful not to bend the float when you take this thing out. Oh, O-ring took itself off for us. So the new tank comes with this orange O-ring, and we got to make sure that it gets installed into this groove right here on the new tank. So let's go do that. All right, we're getting ready to put the fuel sender in the new tank. Oh look, hey, comes with cup holders, cool. All right, so we got the tab location mark on here. Let's get that fuel sender, and same thing. There we go. Make sure that the float doesn't get bent. Line this thing up with the tab. You can see there's a tab right there, and they mark the tank tab location, so it's oriented properly. Retaining ring is just gonna fit over everything like this. Line up the slots. Push down. Oh, let's see. Play with this for a minute. You gotta make sure that tab's right in between these two lock ring tabs, and then just get everything lined down, press down a little bit on the sender, and then you can get the slots to line up, and then tighten this thing up just like we took off the other one. Okay, one thing to note, I should have read the directions one more step ahead. I guess I missed it. These studs have to line up in the same position as the way it came off, so that this cover can go on in the same place. So gotta line those up. All right, so install the fill and vent hoses. Now we're going to transfer the water separator and those lines over to the new tank. All right, transferred all the lines, pushed on the connectors. They just press fit on, and that one has a lock. The rest just push to lock, and then this thing just gets pushed down into the bracket and put the screw back on from the bottom. All right, so there's this bracket that's got to mount to the cross member of the frame, and it just bolts in place. They got some hardware with the kit. Just go ahead and tighten that up. All right, so the new tank's all built up, ready to install. All right, it's pretty much almost there. Just gonna reach up, get the fuel sending connector at the top of the tank, plugging it in. There we go. Snap. All right, that's good. The original bracket that's going to go in the rear, and it just kind of goes up in place. Oh, I'm going to have to lift the tank up a little bit more to catch that hole. Going through, tightening all the straps. Now that the tank's all mounted up, just gotta get this. Went through and just make sure that the fuel line's connected up here. Pushed it tight till it clicked, and then pushed the locking tab in. Same thing on top of the fuel separator. There's another line. You gotta make sure that's in. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, there it is. So you gotta make sure that line's pushed on and that locking tab seated properly. All right, so now if you got a good helper, this thing will magically install itself. Get the fill and the vent hose clamps back on and route this thing back into the fuel door. All right, that's all secured. Now we're just gonna pop this rubber gasket back in. Bam, the only thing missing now, some diesel. Let's get that thing filled up. Fuel line priming. It's a good sound. Okay, it stopped hissing. Shut it off. Okay, one more time. Key on position. Okay. Yeah, I don't hear bubbling either. Let's see if I can get this thing to start. It's running.
Still bubbling.
Still bubbling, yeah. It was running a little rough for a second there.
Yeah, I heard it like...
But it's smooth now. I can still hear maybe some air working itself out of the fuel lines. Let me try one more. Is that this? That was a little smoother.
Yeah, this time it started like right up.
Yeah, maybe I had some air in the lines. Should have primed it a little more. but I also haven't run it in a few days, so I don't know. All right, there it is, couple hours. Set of extra hands, some basic hand tools, and now I've got a 60-gallon tank in my 2021 F-250 Super Duty. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.